Hey, welcome back to Upper Michigan Today. It is an all booked up day. We are here with our friends from the Peter White Public Library, Marty, Achatz, and Andrea Marsh, to talk about this past month's read, Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. So this book is fairly quick to get through, about 5 hours or so on audiobook.
Yeah, not long at all. It's a really quick read and really good. Really, really good.
Even so, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I still haven't
go.
finished the
Here
book
we go.
yet.
No one's going to be surprised by this statement.
No, because this is how I operate every single month. Due date is the date that you do it. So I have full intentions of finishing it later, because even just in the first couple of chapters, I was already hooked. I'm on to part 3, and this story, it kind of tells a tale of different time periods.
Yeah.
So it goes back into, what is it, the 1900s, 1800s?
Early 1900s.
2020, and then 2203 or something.
And then it goes to 24 something, 2403.
Really shoots forward fast.
Yeah.
So right now my head is just in a place where I'm trying to connect these stories, and I'm hypothesizing how they relate, and so...
You want us to tell you?
No, I'll plug my ears if you do, because so far, I haven't finished it yet, but so far it's really intriguing. I'm really interested, and I think it's a great novel.
I'm curious to see how you handle the ending. I listened to it on audiobook, and I did have to re-listen to the last few chunks of the book. Last half. Just a few times.
How come?
There was just so many details that were like colliding together from each time period.
They answered all my questions.
They did, which is really wonderful.
Like, because I'm reading the book and I'm like, this is not going to be a good book, because they're never going to go back to that moment. I'm never going to find out about that. And then it was those last 4 pages where I was like, oh, yes.
Everything just sort of, it's really strange how everything just sort of clicks into place in that last chapter, and you're like, how did I not see that coming?
And our author, she tied it into a perfect bow. I mean, like,
she did.
It was just like wrapped up, and she just sent it off into the future, and I was like, okay. I now see it all. I see it all, and I wouldn't mind rereading it.
Wow.
To pick up on some of those other little... Well, when she was listening to it in the bathroom this morning as we were getting ready, I was picking up on things that I'm like, oh, I don't remember that little detail. But that's probably with any book. You know, you read it twice, you catch those moments.
Yeah, and if you're a fan of her work, I mean, some of these characters are recurring.
Okay.
So some of the characters are in her other book, The Glass Hotel, and other works that she's done. So she kind of like weaves her characters all through her novels. So
it was a real thinker, though. I mean, I got done with that book and I was like, yeah, so what if none of this is real?
Yeah.
Like, what if this reality is just made up? What if I am just in some kind of a test tube or something? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
What does it matter?
But I feel like the overall message is like, live your life.
Live it.
Live your life.
I mean, it really left me just feeling good.
Yeah, I really love this book. I mean, I've listened to it now. This is the second time I've listened to it.
Okay.
And I mean, I can't. The narrators are really good in this book.
There's like
There's
four
like
or
five different ones.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's a tiny book. You can get through it really fast. But just all the ideas. And I mean, each one of those time segments sort of deals with an epidemic or a pandemic in some way too.
Also very interesting.
Relevant to our time period.
Yes, exactly.
It was
exactly.
actually, yeah, I forgot about that piece of it. And it makes you think about what our world might be like too.
Yeah, exactly.
In 2400.
Yeah. And the main character, one of the main characters, Olive, I mean, it's sort of based on Emily's life herself, because she wrote the book Station 11, which was all about a flu pandemic.
Oh.
And that came out right before the pandemic hit. And so that book was huge during the pandemic, people reading it. So Olive Llewellyn, I think that's her name. Yeah, she's sort of based on Emily's own experiences of having written a book like that.
Okay.
So
it was interesting when the people from the future are looking back at like the people in 2010 or whatever, and they're like, why are they hugging? Why are they touching? Why don't they have gloves on? Don't they understand like the world we live in?
Yeah, didn't they learn anything?
Yeah. And then they're like, no, they haven't learned the lessons yet. So anyway, it's a very fascinating read. Good pick.
Thank you.
I'm always giving you a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
When I walk in, I'm never sure what I'm going to get. So.
Well, the next book I've also already started, so I'm not going to give anything away. We have to take another quick break, but I'm going to have you introduce that next.
Okay.
We'll be right back.